This is McCook's Mr. Bill's honor to have you here. Nightly news continually talking about the flu and how 63 children have died from the flu. It is interesting, they won't bring up the subject of how many of those 63 had flu shots. How many of them had flu shots? That might be interesting to know. And did they have any other complications, health issues? Great example is the elderly quite often die of the flu. The majority of people that die from the flu are elderly, but it's because of complications of other health issues that they had quite often. With that in mind though, the flu, they push it through the news so that you'll get the flu shot. You gotta wonder who's backing it and who's profiting from it. Oh, the doctor that sells it, of course. The manufacturers, of course, they want well paid. So why don't I get the flu shot and my wife? Well, I've had a half a dozen other people that I knew very well that got the flu shot over the years, only to get the flu within 24 to 48 hours, and a worse flu than they had ever had before. Things like that scare everybody. And so I and my wife just don't get flu shots. But I do have people that will come up to me, everything from doctors to nurses, and they'll say things like this. They'll say, you cannot get the flu from a flu shot. You can't do it. And I said, that's fine. I sell food here in Nebraska and have for 35 years, food. The state of Nebraska demands that I have $1 million liability on food to be able to sell it. If somebody gets sick, I'm responsible, 100% responsible, and I agree fully with that. And I have the expensive insurance to prove it. With that in mind, the flu vaccination companies, that's right, the guys that make the flu shots, they could have taken hundreds of millions of dollars and added to it or made it a better or safer product. They could have taken and invented cures for cancer, AIDS, all kinds of other things they may have spent that money on. But what they did was spend hundreds of millions of dollars, hundreds of millions, and they went to the Congress and got the Congress to pass a law that says you can't sue a drug company because of the flu shot. Now, if it's 100% safe, as the nurses and the doctors and many government workers will tell you, if it was safe, why would they have spent all that money so that they couldn't be sued? And if, again, it was perfect, it worked great, and you couldn't get the flu from it, why would they even want to spend the money that way rather than to give it to their stockholders and or to spend to find new drugs to help mankind even more? And I, being a simple-minded man, says if someone's trying to keep you from being able to sue them, it's because he figures that you might have a good case to sue him with. This is McCook's Mr. Bill. You do what you want. Get the flu shot if you want. I'm not telling you not to, but I am telling you what Mr. Bill and Kathy do. Thank you for your time.